Mr. Primetime.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Much needed. Long ass week.
Very long ass week.
No idea. How you doing, man?
We got Yankees, Red Sox. We got Jets, Broncos. We got all kinds of stuff going on, man. How are the Mets doing?
Got some Thursday night football, which I'm sure you don't want to talk about. Mets are done. I still have it on in the background, but I barely pay attention anymore.
Yeah,
I've accepted their fate.
They've mailed this season, end of the season in, man. Holy shit.
Yeah.
So I guess what we can do is we can start with the injury report. Some news, surprising news. Tevin Coleman out this weekend.
Yeah, where did that come from?
Illness, non-COVID, which, if we're being completely honest, you had to like what you said of Michael Carter last week. You have Ty Johnson. Like, it was so weird because we get a tweet like the Jets running back group is amongst one of the worst in the NFL. I'm like, based on what? Like, I like Michael Carter. I like Ty Johnson. I even like Josh Adams.
I guess just from the standpoint maybe that they don't have that true number one like workhorse or whatever, but I actually think this is one of the few injuries that we've had that like doesn't really affect them too much. Like I want to see more of Michael Carter. I want to see more of Ty Johnson. Tevin Coleman's probably not in our long-term plan. So, he might be the better of the three options right now because he's the veteran, but I want to see more of the other two guys.
Yeah, Michael Carter's explosive as hell. So that was the weird tweet that we got. And then the other one is Jamison Crowder. It looks like this injury is just going to nag and nag and nag. So it looks like he's doubtful at this point. Yep. Which is interesting. And then it's like, okay, then you have the whole wide receiver group again and the whole Denzel Mims thing, which is
great. We could practice though. So we're good, man. He's going to be rolling.
But it's just, it's not, in the grand scheme of things, it's not really that big of a story. Denzel, and the whole game plan and shit like that. But the handling of your second round draft pick that has all this talent, all this ability in a struggling offense, I find weird. And the selling point is, well, we're only gonna dress 5 receivers. And he's not amongst the best 5.
Well, here's the thing for me. If he's not in, or if he's not going to be active, then that means that Keelan Cole or one of these other guys, Berrios, Jeff Smith, like they have to legitimately step up where you picture them as part of your like top 3, top 4 heading into next year. Because Denzel Mims has that kind of ability. Whether or not he could put it together or fits the system, he's got the physical tools to do it. Yep. He needs an opportunity. Again, whether it's, something, with effort, attitude, like we can't speculate, who knows what's going on, but he needs an opportunity to show what he could do. So I don't look at Keelan Cole right now and saying, yeah, at the end of the season, we got to give him a multi-year contract. So I think like he's got to step up or, Berrios, one of these guys has to have a legitimate performance to justify keeping Mims inactive. Otherwise, it doesn't look good.
All right. So we'll bring on our third co-host who clearly doesn't have a watch. So we'll bring on Tyrone.
Better than usual, though. 8:02, man. I'll sign up for that.
Yeah, thank you, Prime Time. I appreciate that, big fella. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that, man.
But just going back to the wide receiver position, though, I just think it's just so weird to me, man. It's just, and Jet fans are being weird too, because it's like before the season, everybody was looking for big things from Mims. He had a weird training camp, weird preseason, all this stuff. But we're like, you know what? He's going to be, we would think, one of our top 4 receivers at this point, or in the mix of top 5. And now we're relegating, where there's a really good chance he could be inactive again. To me, it's just wild, dude. And the last thing you want is this to be like a wasted year for him, where it's like we get 8, 9, 10 games this season. He's barely playing. That's, for a rebuilding team, a young team trying to find building blocks.
It's hard to picture it getting better too. If Crowder's eventually going to be back, whether it's next week or the week after, there's only going to be less opportunities, you would think, if everybody stays healthy. So
because
somebody else gets hurt.
Berrios has to play. And if they're going to say that Jeff Smith has to be your gunner, is that kind of saying, hey, Denzel
there's nobody else that could be a gunner? Like,
and that's
none of the corners could do that job. Like,
or a linebacker or a safety or somebody. Like, you have a lot of speed. You have all these speedy guys out there.
But is it a bigger issue that he's missed a lot of time too, though? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at the last 2 years, he's missed a lot of time. So it was just
what's that this year?
Okay, I'm saying based on this year right here, he's missed time.
He's healthy now.
Exactly, but you don't know how far he's
had a great week of practice.
The funny thing about it is, man, is like he's in the coach's doghouse. We don't know why. You know what I'm saying? It's probably more to it. The kid is a freakish athlete when he's on the field. But if he's on the field, he's running the wrong routes, being in the wrong spots. You know what I'm saying? You cause the quarterback, especially having a rookie quarterback, you cause problems. That could be the bigger case. We don't really know. But I'm not that big on him not playing right now. He's a second round pick, yeah. But at the same time, if there's other players better than him, that they feel that they
but here's the deal. And I agree with you, but we're looking right now. You're looking at our offense, and it's stagnant and shit. It's like everybody's struggling, and it's like, all right, get your playmakers on the field and give Zach Wilson his best chance to make plays. So they're going to tell us that Denzel Mims is not part of that. Well, then that's a problem.
How's that the problem though, Tyson? Okay.
How's it a problem? You're trying to rebuild the goddamn team.
But
So now it's like this year's about finding building blocks. So if you're going to say Denzel Mims is not a building block, okay, Keelan Cole's not, Jamison Crowder's not. So how many receivers do we have on this team now? We have 2?
I mean, but the question is this, Tyson. They didn't bring Denzel Mims in. They inherited Denzel Mims. So it's something.
Joe Douglas drafted him. What
Joe
are we
Douglas
talking
brought
about?
him in.
Joe Douglas did, but the offensive coordinator and the coach didn't pick him. So what if there's more to the story? You know what I'm saying? What if he just doesn't fit what they're trying to do?
I mean,
you know
there could be more to the story, but this story is going to be very ugly then, because then last
absolutely.
year's draft class is going to be a bona fide disaster.
I mean, absolutely. But at the same time, we know the draft pick is a lottery, man. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to hit and miss on players all the time.
See, okay, I'll go down this path with you. The draft pick is a lottery, but when your general manager, who has highly accredited, takes in the wide receiver class that was stocked, only takes one and then signs Perryman to help rebuild your team, that's a huge strike against them.
I mean, it is.
And what makes it weirder is that Denzel Mims, in playing time last year, did show some good things.
But
in the preseason, he had a nice couple good plays. So
must have been the Gase system.
And the selling point of this coaching staff has been taking players and not forcing the system on them, maximizing their potential in the system. That was a selling point. So now they're saying that, we can't do that because he can't learn 3 positions on the field. Then it's like, he's not a gunner. So either he's a major pain in the ass that always misses meetings and doesn't fucking work out, or this doghouse is just ridiculous. There's more to the story, but it's a problem because he's a young player, dude. Like, you got to get these guys on the field.
I mean, I understand where you guys are coming from. I mean, looking at the value of what we expected him to be. But at the same time, man, he's whatever kind of way he's underperforming. I mean, because listen, we're not a team that's full of talent. So if you have a talented player like that and they're not putting them on the field deliberately, it's more to it. I mean, I'm gonna trust the coach to assess what he wants on the field and what the problem is. So I can deal with that. At the same time, when you have a young quarterback and you have a receiver running the wrong route, not running Chris Russell, not being in the right spot, you know what I'm saying? You start having stuff.
This is the same coaching staff. This is the same coaching staff that was starting Fant instead of Moses week 1.
I mean, absolutely.
This coaching staff isn't. I mean, while we trust them, doesn't mean they're perfect. Doesn't mean they're beyond questioning either.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and that's not. Listen, and that's the whole point about it. But if you're telling me that you have
smirking.
I was going to bring up the quarterbacks, but I bit my tongue.
No. If you have a team that lacks talent, and yet they don't want a talented player on the field, it's more to it. I mean, you guys agree to that? It has to be. Listen,
I'm kind of split right down. I'm kind of split right down the middle in the sense that I do agree with you that if this is all about culture, right? First year head coach trying to establish his way of doing things, set the bar high. If Denzel Mims isn't meeting it, and you want to use him as the example that doesn't matter your draft status, free agent, how much money we paid you. If you're not living up to our expectations, you're not going to play. From that standpoint, I get it, but I also get the other side of it where it's like you're brought in here to develop these kids. You're not supposed to be Adam Gase, forcing guys into your system that might not be a fit. Like, you should be able to adapt and get the most out of these guys. So I see it from both sides. I just want to know what it is. Like, why is he not playing? That's what I just want to know.
Pardon you. Listen, man. Listen, it's week 3. I mean, I see if this is week 8, week 9. This is week 3. So if what you just said is true, that they're supposed to develop this player who missed time during the summer, maybe by week 4 or 5. The light goes off in his head. He becomes a major part of this offense.
And what if Crowder's healthy? And what if Crowder's healthy then? I mean, is he getting reps over Crowder? At that point, he's maybe your 4th wideout, probably your 5th.
You telling me that, you know what I'm saying, if you have 4 talented receivers, you wouldn't put them on the field at the same time and come up with some kind of package, especially when you just said this offense is being stagnant? You
It just seems like these 3 weeks were a great opportunity with how many receivers have been down. Like the first week they were down Crowder and Cole, yet he was on the field for 3 snaps. It just seems weird the way they're doing it. I don't know.
Weird handling, man.
Listen, I mean, I understand that as well. And also, back to your point you made about Moses, right? Like, listen, kid, maybe this is gonna sound a little crazy, but does it seem? Let me ask you a question. Since the big ticket went down, right? Has the line played better?
Well, it's been one game. They played better last week, but that also could be just having a game full of experience too. Another week of just being in the system and figuring things out. But, I mean, they'll be tested this week when you play against a very good defense.
Yes, sir.
With Von Miller flying off the end. Then you're going to see and that's – I guess we can start there. We can start going to the game a little bit. To me, this game – and I did a video a couple hours ago. I think this is a ridiculously tough spot for the Jets. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. You're on the road in front of a hostile environment. Their home opener. They have been in the statement a year. They're 2-0. They're playing great. The environment is going to be insane. So you're going to take that and bring a guy like Von Miller and that – Denver defense against an offense where Zach Wilson is going to have probably his confidence shaken a little bit, right? The offensive line is trying to figure things out, and they're going to be attacking. So to me, I mean, prime time. I mean, on offense, look at it now. It's getting the snap off, getting just not that first quarter to me is pivotal. Like you got to weather the storm. Don't have false starts, no delay games, all this different shit. You know, try to establish a run if possible. Try to get him in sync and rhythm if possible. Just get this offense comfortable so they don't get run off the field.
Yeah, field position is going to be important. Not turning the ball over. You know, not putting your defense behind it. It's going to be tough, man. And I don't even know what the game plan should be. Obviously, you want to run the ball. You know, especially coming off last week. But of course, the Broncos are going to know that. They've got a pretty elite secondary back there. You know, Patrick Surtain added to the mix, and Justin Simmons and all those guys. Like they got an elite secondary, so that's going to be an issue trying to throw the ball. So, like the way I'm looking at it is maybe you get the tight ends involved. You know, work some 2 tight end sets. Go like with the extra jumbo package, and see if you can run the ball. Work your tight ends in off of that. Maybe you send Corey Davis, Elijah Moore deep on occasion. Work some play actions in, but it's going to be a tough one though.
Yeah, and they generate pressure without blitzing. That's the thing about them.
Yes,
And that's
sir.
usually when you got to, that's when you worry about the young quarterbacks where it's like, all right, you have the guys coming in, like, Von Miller and these guys, even like, I know Chubb is out. We understand that, but it's
Which
like,
is huge.
even
Yep.
when Malik Reed comes in, he's a good player. They have pass rushers, man. Fangio's a very good coordinator. They're going to get after it. And Tyrone, I'm kind of with Kevin right now. Like, I was trying to think about, okay, how do you even attack this game? And to me, it's like, in theory, we want to run the football. It's no doubt about it, but they're going to know that. To me, if you come out with the quick screens, a quick passing game, get the ball out of Zach Wilson's hands quickly, but smart plays. You know what I mean? Like I would try that to try to almost the short passing game to open up the running game because they're going to come after it. Dude, they're going to be coming after it. And I don't really understand how, Fant is going to even control Von Miller. I don't see it. Maybe I'm just a pessimist and I'm just angry, but I don't see it, man.
Well, I'm gonna take it a step further here. I think it's 2 things you do. You beat the aggressive defense by letting them come in. So the screen passes, the draw, stuff like that. I think also you have to set your will. You have to have a game plan because the Broncos secondary is absolutely probably one of the best we'll face in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
They're absolutely on fire. They're good, bro. They're good. They're solid defense all the way around. Probably definitely top 5, and they're going to come after it. Like you said, Tyson, they're getting pressure with 4 and 5. They're not sending anybody extra. They don't have to. So I think what you do is with aggressive defense like that, you're going to run some stuff up the middle. You're going to run some draws. You're going to run some quick screens. You're going to run some 5-yard outs. You know what I'm saying? But you got to take your shots down the field. You got to keep that defense honest.
Well,
because
and
if you let them crowd that line, bro, it's going to be a problem. This kid just threw 4 interceptions.
Well, here's my point though to you, and that's one of the I didn't, to be honest with you, I didn't watch everybody's bullshit this week of all the analysis of Jets Patriots. I honestly didn't give a shit. I didn't watch tape. I didn't watch somebody's film. I just didn't care. But one of the things I did kind of notice was that the receivers weren't getting separation last week. A lot of guys at times were not open. So you take that against a Patriot defense, you could see the same exact thing this week against a good secondary and a very good scheme defense. So to me, there's a lot of pressure on Michael Floor to get a little bit more creative and shake things up and not be so predictable. And in theory, we'll pull a Javed here is scheme guys open. If they can't get open on their own, which I'm surprised they can't, because I mean the Jets have some talent at receiver. You got to help your quarterback now. But this is when the kid's struggling a little bit. You've got to coach him up and coach your offense up to help everybody out here.
Yep, and the thing about it.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Prime Time. I'll wait. Go
I was just gonna say real quick. On Jeff Smith, we saw him a little bit in preseason, kind of operating out of that like Brad Smith kind of role.
Yep.
Maybe this is the perfect week to
He's
try to get
fast
something
as
like
hell,
that
man.
going. Yeah, get him on some end arounds. Let him run some wildcat. I can't believe I'm even saying that, but try to mix it up a little bit and just see what works. See what you can do to keep the offense on the field. Get Wilson in a little bit of a rhythm, not throwing stupid passes. You got to change it up a little bit. Get Wesco involved. See what he could do.
Yep.
Got to mix it up somehow.
I think this is more about the offensive coordinator than anything. I think that, what I'm saying, I'm going to be honest with you, the first 2 weeks, they knew what we were doing. I think this week right here, you have to change the whole game plan. And that's what I was hoping we were going to get, that Kyle Shanahan type of just scheme guys wide open. We haven't received that yet. This week, he has to do that. You know what I'm saying? If you see these guys not getting separation, you see your quarterback having a hard time. I like the Wesco stuff. Like we saw in the preseason. Wesco out the backfield for 15, 20, you know what I'm saying? Smart plays, tight ends up the middle, stuff like that. You also spread them them out a little bit. You're gonna have to spread them out. Like, you know what I'm saying?
They
Listen,
got to do something, man.
they have
They
no
got to do
weakness.
something.
They have no weakness on their defense. So trying to attack them with, you know what I'm saying, thinking you're going to be able to throw the ball in every tight window when they already knew he threw 4 of them, they're going to jump every pass. But that's why you get these guys with double moves. You know what I'm saying? You get these guys with in and around, you know what I'm saying, fake in and around screens and, quick passes. But we have to establish the run as well. So if you got to go to jumbo package, I suggest it as well.
Well, get the ball. I mean, you can also get the ball. The running backs out of the backfield too. I mean, Carter and Ty Johnson can both catch the ball. I mean, there's different things you can do. But and again, I understand because I've been getting attacked all day. I understand that LaFleur is a young coordinator and he's learning along with Saleh and Zach Wilson. But while you're learning, you also have to show improvement and progress. We can't keep you like because when you fail your quarterback or you fail in your schemes, what's going to happen is your quarterback's going to get the shit beat out of him. So it's paramount that you get this kid off to a good start. You figure out the hell you're doing on defense and try to establish some kind of rhythm. Because the last thing you want is our defense to be on the field 40 minutes the whole game, or you're gonna get blown out. So
if you notice the last couple of weeks, man, like we really came out bad offensively in the first half. It's been, then you start seeing the progression. The first game we really saw that. Second half I think he played really, really well. This game I think he played bad the whole game, but he had a few throws there that were there, and I think it was more him. I don't know if it was. I'm going to chalk it up to the kid being the first game at home and in that stadium, whatever it was, whatever the reason was, he threw 4 interceptions. That you have to limit. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you can't tell. You cannot make this kid get comfortable just gunslinging. You have to give this kid a solid plan. That comes with the coordinator. Like you said, get this kid some easy rhythm throws. And stuff that's going to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, I don't know, whatever our game plan is, switch it up. And don't be afraid to switch up in the middle of a game. You know what I'm saying? If you can run the ball at them, run the ball at Denver. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the one thing that I think we really has a chance to do is run the football. These guys are going to be aggressive. Why wouldn't they be? This kid, if you were a defense coordinator and the guy you were going against threw 4 interceptions last week, I'm going to do what the Patriots did. I'm not going to change anything. You don't have to.
Nope. They don't have to. But they generate the rush with only 4 guys. They don't have to blitz, which lets you do creative schemes, all kinds of like different shit in the secondary. That's why secondary is so good. And this is a good question from Tim because we get this a lot. Yeah, is the offensive coordinator in over his head? I don't think he's in over his head, but I think this team definitely misses Greg Knapp. I definitely do. Yeah, I think that was obviously rest in peace. It's a terrible tragedy, but I think that veteran presence for both having him in LaFleur's ear, having him in Zach Wilson's ear, kind of tying everything together, all the experience he has in developing quarterbacks, developing offenses, all he's done, I think was going to be the perfect asset to Mike LaFleur. And I think it's a huge hole. It's an enormous hole. And I know they brought in Matt Cavanaugh, but dude, it's LaFleur. I mean, he's going to be growing like everybody else, but it's a big challenge, man. And I said, to me, I think the crowd noise and everything else, I mean, I don't think Zach Wilson's probably ever played any kind of environment like this before in his life, even with all due respect to what he did in college. But I think that some of these environments going to be insane. So you see how they handle it, how they handle pressure, how they handle adversity, what his mindset is like. I mean, he's obviously a feisty kid. He's got a chip on his shoulder. I'm sure he's got some confidence, but I'm sure he's going to be kind of scared to make those throws a little bit. Like, you know what? I can't afford to throw 3 more picks this week. That's got to be the back of his head. I mean, don't you think prime time in the back of his head, he's got to be like, you know what? I can't afford another 3-pick week. Yeah,
that's definitely a concern. And just to go back to what you said before about LaFleur, it's a lot of guys that are all learning together. And, early on, we tried to look at that as a positive where, it would be a good thing. Like they're going to experience success and failure together and learn from it together. But it's also a lot of guys figuring it out at the same time. And that can lead to a lot of ugly play early in the year. So you just hope that they get it right. You hope that they, spend some time in the film room, really break it down and, figure out, what was going on, whether it was just Wilson not, getting rid of the ball quickly or just not hitting the open target, like getting rid of it as far as like, just taking the short passes when they're there, being smart with the football. I think those are all things that are going to come in time, but this is a tough matchup this week. No way to sugarcoat it.
Yeah, and now everybody's kind of questioning the coordinator. So now we
Too
go
soon
to
for that. Too soon for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take time. Like, it's just this whole team is young. They're rebuilding. They're trying to figure shit out. They're all learning on the fly. They face 2 good defenses. They're facing another very good defense on Sunday. So now you look at the other side of the ball where you have the Broncos offense, which is pretty well-rounded, man. Like, Primetime and I both had a chance to watch Teddy Bridgewater practice in person. I've always liked him as a player. I like his story. I like his arm. He's smart. Doesn't turn the ball over a lot. They got Cortland Sutton's a phenomenal fucking player. He's like a rising star in the NFL. You have Tim Patrick. They have Noah Fant, another young tight end on the rise, and they got 2 good running backs, man. So it's like,
thank God there's no Judy.
Yeah, can you imagine? Sir. And I think this secondary, like our secondary's been playing fairly well the last 2 weeks. I think this is probably their biggest test so far
Yep.
because they're going to, I mean, Bridgewater will test them with the throws. I mean, Mac Jones wasn't throwing the ball deep last week. He didn't give a rat's ass. And Sam Darnold, after the first half in week 1, didn't really do a lot. But now it's like they're going to get after. I think they're going to challenge this Jets defense a little bit. And if they can establish the run against us, it's going to be a long friggin' day because their playmakers are legit.
That's the one strong point I think that we have, though. I think we'll be good against the run. That part I'm not really overly
Let's hope
concerned
so.
with. And if
Quinn's
we
got
get,
to start playing much better.
well, listen. I think last week, man, we got to the quarterback, which I'm saying was kind of surprising. I was kind of happy to see that. So if we can continue that right there, that'd be a trend. We start getting in, touching the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Teddy doesn't scare me. What scares me about Teddy is not his arm, not his long passes. What scares me about Teddy is his
He can go
consistency.
vertical, dude.
Yeah, but his consistency to make good plays. He doesn't make mistakes. Very many. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I love about Teddy. You know what I'm saying?
Great game
he's
manager.
Exactly. He's going to hit the open guy, the right guy. The ball's going to go to the right place and get the ball in his hand. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to worry about Teddy running the ball on us.
When is
We don't
Wilson
worry about.
scared to take a hit? I completely disagree. He's taking a beating, keeps getting back up.
Yeah. Watch the first game, buddy. He took a lick. He took some
It's
licks.
good.
And I
true.
was just gonna say real quick on the Broncos offense, like what was the one thing that we said all offseason that worried us the most on defense? Like that short passing game, right?
Yep.
Good receivers, just
Yep.
going with the quick slants over the middle and shit like that. Like I think this might be the one game like where we finally see the secondary get tested a little bit.
Yeah, Tim Patrick, they got Hamler can fly. I mean, they got some guys that can scoot, and then
But
they got the good.
No. This short pass. Listen, I mean, I'm okay. Listen, I like our offense and defensive matchup with them. I'm more comfortable with that than our
You like
offense
you like
defense.
our defense against their offense?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do. I like that. I like that more than I like their defense against our offense.
Oh yeah,
You know what
fuck
I'm
them.
saying?
Oh yeah, the
That's-
two
that's-
matchups.
that's
I
fair.
don't
Yeah.
have a lot of
I
confidence in our offense this week at all.
I just think that they want to be a running the ball team. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't want to stretch the field. I think our run defense is really good. As we see each week, it's starting to get better. You know what I'm saying? I think the
Well,
one
see,
thing that
but here's the only thing I'll say about that. I think you can do some things if you know Mac Jones is not going to throw the ball deep. Like you can be a little bit more aggressive. There's not a threat where because Mac Jones wasn't going to. But I think if Teddy Bridgewater sees us creeping up, trying to stack the box, they have no problem airing it out and challenging our corners, especially when you have when you have
also not for nothing, we had no points in the first half in week 1, 3 points, or was it vice versa? I forget. Week 1, week 2, we had 3 points combined in the first half in the first 2 games.
Yep.
So what was the game plan for the opposing offenses really going into the second half? How much did our defense really get tested, especially in the secondary?
Yep.
Were teams trying to air the ball out? No, because
Yep.
they knew we weren't putting up more than 20 points.
Yep.
So I think this week it could be a little different. Although if Broncos defense comes out and kind of lights us up in the first quarter, first half, then it might just be the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like listen. I think Denver's game plans have been what it's always been. They want to run the ball, control the ball, take the shots when they can. You know what I'm saying? I think that I think that that part of it. Listen, the one thing that killed us in that first game was McCaffrey out the backfield, and I'm not going to match any. I'm not going to talk about any running back other than being close to McCaffrey because absolutely, man, watching him up close, watching him be who he is. He's the best running back in the league right now. I'm sorry. It's just he is what it is. He's a matchup nightmare. So, and to me, Mosley looked great the last 2 weeks. I mean, checking somebody like him is definitely going to be a challenge. I think what
covering
what
fans
Denver
not gonna be easy.
yeah, but what Denver poses, you know what I'm saying? I think is an easier chance to cover than what it was Carolina. So
What?
yes.
Dude,
What
wait.
running back with Denver scares you?
Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon both scare
Melvin
me.
Gordon definitely scares me.
No,
I mean,
Melvin Gordon.
not to the extent of McCaffrey, but
They're not like Caffrey, but they're good, both capable backs, and they have a tight end they can use, and they have 3 or 4 receivers they can use. I think you're kind of discounting what they're bringing to the table, man.
No, I'm not talking about their receivers or the tight end. I'm talking about their running back. You know what I'm saying? Which Gordon scares you like that?
If we
not like McCaffrey, but he's still.
Yeah,
they're not elite, but they're good backs. Williams is a good back.
Exactly. They're good backs, but they're not elite. You know what I'm saying? I think when it comes to checking a good back, I think CJ Mosley can handle that. See, listen, what kills us more than anything.
Who's covering Noah Fant?
I mean, you over the coach schemes to do that. Listen, he's going to be a safety. Maybe Marcus May, you bring somebody down. I'm not putting Mosley on him.
Let one of the young linebackers cover him. Nashville
You know
being,
what I'm
if
saying?
Sherwood he's been practicing this week. Let one of those guys cover him.
Yeah,
You're gonna need Marcus May over the top.
But what I'm saying to you is this though. I'm just saying that you're sitting here being like you're looking at like Gordon. You know what I'm saying? You're looking at these guys to be elite. They're good running backs.
I'm not saying elite. I'm not saying elite. I'm saying they're functional and are good enough to piece apart our defense.
But listen, I'll match C.J. Mosley against any one of those good running backs, the elite running backs.
Okay.
With the problem will start at. That's all.
Okay. So then, Red Wine got cut. He's not. It's the other guy. Was it Colbert? Whatever his name is. He's back there
Red
now.
Wine. Yo,
So
Red Wine
I mean,
is the
that's
reason why
fine. I mean,
big
that's
catch.
listen. I think
Red
the
Wine.
Broncos are going to have a well-rounded offense to attack us. And I'm not sure. My concern is our secondary this week. I think the defensive line, they've got to generate pressure. We say the same thing every week. You want to see more out of Rankins. You want to see more out of Quinn Williams. You want to see them generate pressure up the middle.
Yeah,
yep. And if they don't, I mean, it's. I just think it's a tough matchup, dude. Like I don't. I think on the road, in that environment, I just don't see it. And I'd like to see it. I like to try to buy in. And like Tyron, I kind of see what you're saying. Where you know what, maybe we can get some things on our offense, kind of slow them down a little bit early on. But then our offense has to come back and put up points and can put up drives too. You can't keep going 3 and out. Once 5 plays off the field, 6 plays off the field, you got to put together some things. More than not in the second half, in the first half. Like be productive in the first quarter. Like Primetime mentioned it. The first half of the last 2 games has been abysmal. So, and then you gotta hope they don't and no turnovers. Win the turnover battle too.
I'll go ahead and say it that if we can get the performance that we got in the second half against Carolina, I think the Jets are in this game in the fourth quarter. I really do.
Absolutely. I agree.
That's fair enough. I can go with that.
The funny part about it is, like I say, man, all I want to do is see production each week. I want to see growth each week. And from week 1 to week 2, I saw growth in every area but the quarterback. And that's the biggest thing. And the one thing I will say is this. I'm not concerned more or less about his confidence. This kid's a confident kid. He's a shooter, bro. He's a gunslinger, bro. What happens when you're a shooter, bro? I'm shooting until the clip is empty. Bottom line. So if I throw 4 interceptions, shit, the next one gonna be a touchdown. And I understand that. But that comes to coaching, working him during the week. Like, look, if it's not there, take the check down. You know what I'm saying? That's coach scheming guys open, getting the right guys the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. No, we'll see. So you guys, you want in the chat, if you guys want to share your score predictions, everything else, your keys to the game. So I guess Primetime, give me 3 keys to the game for the Jets to win this.
3 keys. All right. So Zach Wilson's got to bounce back. Can't turn the ball over like he did last week. I'll give him 1 fumble, 1 interception, but cannot be more than 1. Otherwise, the Jets are not going to be able to win. So that's the first one. Second, I'm going to say get the tight ends involved also. I think that's going to be important to not only just the offense's success, but Wilson also having that security blanket for the tight end. I think it's going to be tough getting the receivers involved with the Broncos secondary. So I think you got to be able to do that. And then on defense, you got to be able to force 1 or 2 of your own, I think also. And that's also going to help you with field position a little bit, maybe make some drives easier for the offense. So if the defense can find a way to get 1 or 2 back, the offense, doesn't give any away and put the defense in a bad spot, I think the Jets could actually be in this game, believe it or not. Broncos don't scare me too much like that.
Tyrone, your 3 keys to the game for the Jets to win.
I'm trying to give something different than what you gave, and everything you gave was amazing. I'm going to say 1, be aggressive in a hostile environment. Don't come out here willing to lay down and take the fight to them. I think if we do that, I think we'll be okay. I think special teams as well. I think that we have to win the change of field battle. I think that we have to pin them deep, make good plays on special teams, and I think we'll be there. And also, I think that the third most important thing, I think our defense has to bring the fight to them. I think that we can't wait for those guys to take long passes or get in a good rhythm or be able to just like that last run that we had against the Patriots. It wasn't the run that was what the problem was. He broke 7 tackles. It was the fact that the defense been on the field for 40 fucking minutes in a hot ass sun and they were tired. That was the problem. So if we can maintain that to where, like you said, our offense keeps our defense off the field, keeps these guys fresh. Understand, we're gonna be in Denver. The attitude, the air up there is very, very thin. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to breathe out there. I remember guys I was there last week. The show was last year on my grandson's birthday. So that's very important. So keeping these guys fresh.
You worry about conditioning too. I mean, to be honest,
absolutely.
How often did they really get tested in the preseason? We talked kind of jokingly a little bit about a lot of the practices where it didn't really feel like, guys were really working too hard or really pushing it all that much. So, you wonder now week 3 in the year, like it's still kind of early.
Wow, yep.
Have they built up all that endurance and everything? I don't know.
Probably you a G. You remember when the coach came out? I remember when coach came out and said, we're going to work them hard one day and let them lay back the next day. Remember that? Yep, so maybe that comes into factor now that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
I think like for me on offense, my key to the game is getting Elijah Moore and Michael Carter the ball in both their hands. Use the speed on offense, like get the ball. But to me, Michael Carter in the backfield, like take advantage of that and that short passing and get them in rhythm, and that gets Zach Wilson a lot more comfortable. That to me is like their biggest key on offense is use your speed I mean, obviously Mims not gonna do it, and then take your shot downfield. I'm Tyron, I'm kind of with you, man. Like if you're gonna throw it, you take that play action pass and air this shit out and get the defense off the line of scrimmage. Like if you're gonna go down trying. Don't go down with a whimper. You know what I mean? On defense, I think it's gonna be a challenge. I'm really worried about these corners. I'm not really sure, but if you can try to press Teddy Bridgewater, almost have like that Chad Pennington defense where you have like what the Ravens used to always do against Chad Pennington, like have like that 20-yard thing, just be really aggressive. And after that, like Teddy Bridgewater beat you deep, so be it. But don't get killed by the dink and dunk and all like the short stuff. I'd kind of do that too. And then I just think that, LaFleur's got to have an excellent game plan. I think to me personally, there's more pressure on Mike LaFleur this week than Zach Wilson. I'll say it. That's just kind of how I feel because he's got to have a pulse for the game, understand what's going on, read the defense, like read the room, be like, listen, man, this shit isn't working, make changes. And if he's not doing it, then Salah's got to go in his ear and say, listen, man, this isn't working. We got to protect our quarterback or we got to change rush scoring points. Like, let's not go every half 3 points, 0 points, all this shit. Like, we got to start scoring points here. And Salah knows what he's doing because he's in the headset. He knows what's going on with all this stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like, listen, all right, our game plan is working. We've got to be more aggressive here because we're not competitive. Yeah. And because when we're not competitive, then Zach Wilson starts playing hero football and he throws fucking 4 interceptions.
Yep. I think that's the key. Definitely.
That's my idea. I don't know.
I think a lot of it though also has to kind of be dictated by what the Broncos defense kind of gives you also, and whether or not Zach Wilson can actually execute the game plan. LaFleur could design up all these things, but if Wilson can't actually execute it, then.
But just for example, prime time. Yeah. If Von Miller's creating absolute havoc, then you've got to give Fant help and then roll Zach Wilson out. Like you can't be kind of arrogant with your play calling. Like, and stuff. You can't be like, stand in the pocket and just throw it. No, adjust. Don't be, just say, hey, Fant's getting beat. Oh, well, no, give him help, roll him out, change shit up, screen passes that way. Run, there's things you can do to offset it. And that's what they're going to have to do.
But wouldn't that be your game plan from the beginning? That would be my game plan. I'm going to chip on Von Miller every chance I get. You know what I'm saying? I just think that
he's a beast, man.
You start the game like that to keep him confused. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sorry, Von Miller, you can't check. You can't. He's uncheckable. You know what I'm saying? 1-on-1. And imagine if Chubb was there. It would be a long ass day for us, bro. You know what I mean? But listen, aggressive players like that. That's when you let them come in and you do the delayed draw or the rollout screen or the rollout bootleg. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But to me, I'm gonna be aggressive and I'm running towards Von Miller. I'm gonna run to your side. I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna change things up. I mean, I think that if we come out there and we're so scared about making mistakes, let the kid make mistakes, man. This is rookie year. Well, we expect that. You know what I'm saying? I don't expect 4 interceptions.
But he can make mistakes, but they got to make mistakes with smart throws and a well-planned offense, not where he's running around with his fucking hair on fire, but not know what the fuck's going on, getting blitzed, sacked, and the Jets look lost and confused. So we'll answer this one real quick. Sad to see so many so-called Jet fans jumping ship after 2 games. I don't really understand what's called jumping ship, and I'll speak for myself because I've been getting fucking torched all week. Saying that the Jets are going to lose or to me, the spread is 10 points or whatever points it is for a reason. They're the better team. Yep. So as a fan, if you look at it, if you want you give you fucking smoke up your ass and rainbows, I'm not your guy. I'm looking at the matchup saying, you know what, to me, if this game was at MetLife, to me, it might be a little closer. I think where it is now, a team playing well at home, all this shit, to me, it's not a good matchup. I don't think they're going to win. So do you want me to tell you, yes, the Jets are great. They're going to bounce back. They're playing like fucking shit on offense. So we're not jumping off the ship. We're just keeping it real. Like, how did we sugarcoat this? The fucking quarterback threw 4 interceptions last week. The offense looked like fucking dazed and confused. We sat and watched it. I sat in person and watched this shit in person. So what exactly do you want me to? It's not jumping ship. We're 0-2. The offense is struggling. It's a young team they're rebuilding. Do I have faith in Zach Wilson and coaching staff? Of course. But as you go into game day, that faith that I have for the next 3 years doesn't mean jack shit. I look at the game by game thing. I mean, you guys do the same thing. Yep. So what the fuck what are we supposed to say here? It's not jumping off ship. It's just saying, listen, it's a tough time right now. We all said to a man, we said, how many games are you going to win this year? Could be between 4 and 6. Primetime said you get some lucky breaks, maybe go 7 and 9. But we said it could be a very rough season based on all the change and how young this team is. And you have a tough schedule in some parts. This is exactly what's happening. It's been a rough season so far. 2 games, they have 15 more. I'm not jumping off ship, though. It's just it's fucking reality.
I think a lot of the anger, though, is also coming from watching Sam Darnold experience some success. And I tweeted this last night. I don't understand what the
But good for
fascination
him.
is. Exactly. I don't understand what the fascination is with comparing a year 4 quarterback to a year 1 quarterback in a completely different situation. But at the same time, I don't know why Jet fans are going out of their way to try and like knock this kid. Oh, he sucks. You know, it was only Christian McCaffrey, which clearly it wasn't last night. He didn't beat anybody good. I'm like, good for the kid. He's experiencing some success. He deserves it. He handled his time here the right way. Like, I don't have any animosity towards Sam. Like, I feel like it's a bad look for Jet fans that we're trying to like knock this kid to either buy time for Zach Wilson or defend the Jets because of how badly they fucked up that situation for 3 years. But like, complimenting Sam Darnold has nothing to do with Zach Wilson. Nothing at all. Zach Wilson's on his own timeline. We're all behind the kid. We all want to see him do good. But I'm also going to acknowledge Sam Darnold played well, and I'm happy for the kid. But again, like, he's not part of the Jets anymore. So it's good for him, but like, I don't need to talk about him.
But it's twofold. It's like there's like a really like it's a really side of social media with Jet fans right now, because you have the ones that are just saying fuck Sam, fuck Sam, fuck Sam, and the other side saying fuck
I told
Zach.
you so.
Yeah, well, they're saying I told you so, and they're saying fuck Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson's a bust after 2 games. So to me, it's like, listen,
there's a happy medium where both fan bases could be very happy with this trade. Darnold could be the quarterback for the Panthers for 10 years, and Wilson could be our quarterback for 15.
This is the whole problem.
The change here is good for Sam. Good for him. Like, let him flourish. I can give a fuck, dude. To me personally, I thought this is what's best for him. What's best for the Jets at the time was to move on. We have our quarterback. It's been 2 games. We have no idea what Zach Wilson is right now. For anybody, it's going to take time. Not 2 games, not 5 games, not 16. Fucking a couple years. That's just a fact.
But that's also real quick. That's also where I understand the frustration from the Jet fan perspective, where we just sat through 3 years of watching a rebuild, watching the quarterback, go through his rookie lumps, thinking that all right, we're eventually going to turn the corner, and now we're starting all over again. So I get where the frustration is. But we still have to be patient.
Hire Adam Gase.
This is the whole problem right here, though. This is the whole problem, man. Listen. I have no problem with Sam doing good. And at the end of the day, man, we all Jet fans, man. Listen, Zach is our quarterback. Trading Sam was the right move. You restart your clock. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't going to win. And if Sam was here right now, we had won. I mean, listen, all our comparisons, man, listen, if my sister had balls, she'd be your brother, man. I'm just being honest with you. All I could have, would have, if we'd have.
No, Tyron, here's the problem. I'll tell you what the problem is. You know what the problem is? Jet fans love to talk about rebuilding the entire offseason. They love talking about, growing pains and learning curve and all this shit. Oh, we're only going to win 4 games until it actually happens. They're saying, I have no problem with losing as long as Zach Wilson grows. Until the losing starts
almost every year, though.
But I'm saying, it's like everybody says it until it's like
buildup. But it's the buildup of it. That's why Jet fans are so frustrated. We know it's a process. We know it's going to take time, but we're tired of saying it because it's every year that we've been in this.
I mean,
not
you cannot compare Zach.
Every single week. Well, trust the process. We're rebuilding.
I'm not saying trust the process, but we're the youngest team in football.
No.
We've
acknowledged it every week. We've acknowledged it every week this offseason. But at some point, you just want to see some progress, something to hang on to.
Okay,
some semblance of, all right, we're turning in the right direction. That's all we want to see.
How are you comparing a rookie quarterback to a 4-year quarterback? How can you even do that?
Nobody is. Or I'm not.
No, that's what I'm saying about fans. Or if anybody ever, I love this team. Listen, if I pick them to lose, I don't want them to lose. I want them to win.
No, it's just
listen, we are a developing ass team. We have a rookie quarterback who threw 4 interceptions, but the kid's gonna be okay because the talent is there. We're still growing. You know what I'm saying? We're an organization that's been dysfunctional forever. We may have some stability with our GM. We're not sure just yet.
Keyword may.
So exactly.
That goes for everybody. GM, head coach, every player on there's very few things that are proven right now on this team right now.
Exactly. So the whole point of the matter is saying that the kid is a bust, and you compare him to Sam, which you have a team that is better. You have players; they have more talent on the team, on offense and defense.
But I don't even want honestly, I don't give a fuck about the Panthers and Sam Darnold. I'm more just annoyed by how everybody's treating this team now when the expectations going into it were low. Like, a lot of the shit that's happening is somewhat expected. Obviously, we didn't expect 4 interceptions, but we didn't expect them to come out and fucking win 11 games this year.
I just think a part of it is like, if you want to earn respect at some point, not right now, but at some point soon this year, you have to show that at least you're heading in the right direction. You could at least put together a game plan.
So did they not get credit for fighting back in week 1? Did they give credit for fighting back in the second half?
They did.
Okay, so that was a game that we walked away somewhat encouraged. Last week was a fucking clunker. This week could be a clunker, and then next week be a good game. That's called the roller coaster ride of a fucking young team.
But you also said before though, like this coaching staff is not beyond questioning, like with the whole Mims stuff and everything like that. Like,
but we're not going to know.
We're all just watching and figuring everything out right now. We don't know anything about anybody right now.
Right, but right now
it could be shit. Like, we don't know.
Week 2. Listen, the team has improved from week 1 to week 2. That's showing good coaching. Our quarterback threw 4 interceptions. That's why we lost that game. It was 16 points off a turnover, and they only scored 6 points other than that.
So then what if they play like shit this week?
No, listen, the offensive line improved. You know what I'm saying? The defense improved. You know what I'm saying? The running backs improved. We couldn't run the ball. We ran the ball. You know what I'm saying? The only problem we had is our quarterback threw 4 interceptions. So, listen, each week I want to see improvement. I'm okay with that. If we go to Denver and we lose, but I see improvement, I'm okay with that. If my quarterback makes good throws or my offensive coordinator schemes guys open, he gets, you know what I'm saying, we're moving the ball to the field, we just don't score or something happens. Listen, as long as I'm seeing improvement, I'm happy with. The problem
what did we say all offseason about the offense, right? We could lose games, we could play like shit. Get better and put up points, though, right? We were fine losing games as long as we were putting up points and our quarterback was making progress. That's what we want to see. It's only 2 games, but
listen, the problem
is it's been 2 fucking games against 2 good defenses.
But listen, that's what I'm saying. Listen, everyone's getting mad because listen, they thought
everybody's giving final evaluation to 2 games in a 17-game season.
We're just gonna have 400 yards a game. Listen, bro, we don't got Kyle Shanahan.
Tyrone, we don't have Kyle Shanahan. So everybody right now is dumping on LaFleur. The Jets put up 27 points on Sunday. Is LaFleur a genius then?
No.
Or is it just a week-by-week thing? It's going to be when you have an inexperienced head coach, inexperienced coordinator, rookie quarterback. Yes. It's going to be a roller coaster ride the entire fucking season.
And when he gets
the entire season, like this, all fucking year.
The more experience he gets at calling plays, he'll get more comfortable.
Of course,
just better.
To make assessments in 2 weeks is insane.
Exactly. It's crazy.
But that's my point though. Everybody has like a final statement on Wilson, dude. This is the way you have to expect all year long. There's going to be highs, there's going to be lows. It's just the way it's going to be. There's going to be some really shitty fucking games. Like when we play the Buccaneers, you think the Buccaneers going to be a fucking fun game to watch? I got news for you. No. Even the Titans game, to be honest with you, the Titan game is going to be probably an ass beating.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Can I ask you a question? Everybody, okay, we all dated before, right? Can you make an assessment of the woman you meet in 2 weeks? Can you tell me everything about her? If she's gonna be your wife or she's gonna be your girlfriend long term?
I have a good idea if I plan on seeing her
in 2 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yo, listen, man, I don't know what kind of
you know what you're looking for. You know what you're looking for. I don't know what kind of right away if that's not it.
Hey, listen, from here on out, you doing my scouting for me, bro. Listen, in 2 weeks, I'm not making any kind of assessment because sometimes, man, you make the wrong assessments. You know what I'm saying? That's you, but listen, I'm just saying. Sometimes you make the wrong assessment, overthinking things or overlooking things.
Dating's a bad example because you don't want to invest time in something that's going nowhere. Time, money.
Yeah, but listen,
how is the first draft not a bust?
How much have we invested in this team, though? Like, how much have we given this team? So trust me, I've given this team all of me. I love them to death.
We all have.
I'm tired.
And that's why there's that level of frustration. There's an understanding that yes, it's a process, it's a rebuild, it's going to take a lot of time. I just think there's a lot of fans that are just tired of saying it. They want to have something, even something small. Doesn't have to be wins.
We got to understand. Just 8-9.
Not even that. Not even that. Just some players, Salah, something that we can hold on to and say, all right, we're turning the corner and we're heading in the right direction. Just something small.
But the thing is, I know you may have that, but I think what people don't understand is how bad Gase and the team was last year. Yeah. When the Jets as an organization hired one of the worst coaches in the history of NFL and leave him in place for 2 years, the damage that's done is going to take time to overcome that. Yep. So then you're wiping out half your fucking roster. You're trying to create all this new shit, try to bring in all these new players. It's going to take time to do that. And I understand everybody wants to win and be competitive. Like, do you think I like sitting at MetLife Stadium with fucking Patriot fans sitting in front of me taunting me for an hour and a half? Think that's fucking enjoyable? After I spent God knows how much money on this fucking team? I don't enjoy it, but I understand where we are. It's like, all right, it sucks. And the history of the Jets sucks for the last 10 years. But this is where we're at. So to be pissed off at like Zach Wilson, be like, you know what, Zach, I'm mad at you because we ran Sam Darnold out of town. I'm mad at you because we fucking hired Adam Gase. I'm mad at you because fucking Tremaine Johnson sucked. It's not, it doesn't, it's just, this is where we are as an organization. We hit the fucking reset button and this is where we're at. Yeah. If you want to win this year and you want to win 10 games this year, it ain't fucking happening. No. That's just what it is.
I don't think anybody's really mad at Zach Wilson. I just think some fans are tired of giving the benefit of the doubt. until
but
they
if
see
we
some progress.
if we wouldn't have
we're gonna
drafted,
be
if we
honest,
wouldn't
prime
have
time.
traded
Well,
Sam, we'd still be talking about it.
But Tyra, hold on a second though. How long is it going to take, in your honest opinion, with Zach Wilson to get a full evaluation of what the quarterback he is? How long is it going to take to do that?
2 years, I think. Just because he inherited, I think, a much better situation than a lot of other quarterbacks that we've had. We invested 2 first-round picks in the offensive line, although Beckman's obviously not healthy. But you got some weapons to throw to. You drafted a running back in Carter who looks pretty decent so far. So he's got a lot of weapons around him. We got a guy in LaFleur who we came into this offseason, like we were raving about him, thinking we got Shanahan, like you were saying before, Tyrone. So it seems like all the ingredients are there. We've certainly seen rookie quarterbacks before come in and light up the league, not even just first-round picks, but like, Russell Wilson as a third-rounder, Dak Prescott as a fourth-rounder. Like, it's not uncommon for rookies to come in and play well. So I'm not saying it has to be this year because, again, you're turning everything over. It's first-time coaches all across the board. But by next year, I think there was an expectation that we would be a competitive team, close maybe to a playoff team.
Okay, so 2 years for Zach Wilson. How long to have a full evaluation of Mike LaFleur?
Probably that same time period.
2 years or 1 year?
I mean, we'll have some answers after this year, but I think next year is where, it's kind of put up or shut up time. Like, your quarterback's had a full year to learn the system. You've had a chance to identify what pieces fit and what don't. You have plenty of money and draft picks this offseason to make changes. So, yeah, I think by next year, across the board, we should expect this team to be pretty competitive.
Okay.
Maybe not
so
a
then
playoff team, but competitive.
2 years for Wilson, 2 years for LaFleur. How many years for Coach Saleh?
2 or 3. You want to give the head coach the extra year? I mean, you're probably not going to fire a head coach after. And I get where you're going with this line of questioning. I don't already know all this. I'm just saying, as a fan base, saying it for 10 years across multiple GMs and head coaches, I know they have nothing to do with Douglas and Saleh and Wilson. But as a fan base, saying it over and over again for 10 years, it gets tiresome. You just want to see something to make you actually believe that they're turning the corner. And it's going to take time. I get it. But at the same time, like, I'm just
Can't
tired
take more than 2 games.
I know. I'm just tired of giving the benefit of the doubt. I want them to show something to earn that respect. I think that's where we're at.
So what? So is there any? So in terms of earning respect, what would they have to do on Sunday to earn your respect?
I'm just looking for competitive football. Decent game plan. Put up some points. Like that's all I want. That's all I want.
Tyrone, what about you? To earn respect on Sunday, what do you got to say?
I mean, same thing. I mean, I just want to see a competitive football. I want to see us in the game in the fourth quarter. I want to see us score in the first half. I want to see us move the ball. I don't care if we win or not. I'm not concerned with that. That's not, I mean, that's what I want. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying, we're going against a good team. So as long as we don't come out here and put up a goose egg, I'm cool with that. I don't want to see my team get overmatched and overplay and quit doing the game. I don't want to see my quarterback dazed and confused. I don't want to see my offense coordinator, not adjusting to what they're doing. So for me, it's just about playing competitive football. Whether we win, lose, or draw, as long as we playing and the guys are playing hard, I'm okay with that. We're not making the minimal mistakes of beating ourselves.
And not come out flat, too.
Yeah.
Like, the last thing you want to do is come out flat in the first quarter and get run out of the building, too. That's another key for Sunday. So we got, what's this one? Becton, you don't know what Mims is. You don't know what Davis can be. Hall looks good. Man looks good. Well, man's hurt. Last year's draft class, man, we could talk about that. I mean,
you can give Bryce Huff some credit as an undrafted free agent. That was
Bryce Huff, Bryce Huff, Bryce Hall. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, to me, there's gonna be a lot of pressure on Becton to come back and play well once he comes back, especially when you consider how good Wirfs is playing. That could be a complete, huge, big.
I'm just looking at all the premium picks that they invested in this offense, and Becton's had multiple injuries already. Mims can't see the field. Elijah Moore, a little shaky start. Vera Tucker, he was out preseason. He's looking okay now, but you invested 4 premium picks all on the offensive side of the ball. That should be your core for the next 5 to 10 years.
But Primetime, let me ask you a question. Prior to that draft, when the last time we took an offensive player, Primetime?
It was like almost 10 years ago. Mark Sanchez or Justin Keller.
This is what's killing me, man. People don't understand. We've had 10 years. Listen, bro. Exactly. Mark Sanchez. Everything else has been defense, man. That's the problem. We've had 5 or 10 years of bad drafts, and everyone wanted fixed in one offseason. We had a GM that picked 12 players, and none of them are in the NFL right now.
Yeah, but I mean, but now it's like, but see, and this is to Primetime's point. I understand where Primetime's coming from with the whole. You got to earn faith, you have to earn respect, and that goes for the owner, the general manager, the coach. All like, I'm completely with you because if anybody watches our show, I was completely critical of Joe Douglas in free agency and the draft, especially last year. This year was some questions. So listen, we like everybody hates having faith when you got to earn all this stuff. But right now it's just so early, man. Like I genuinely, of all of this shit going on right now, I have a lot of faith in this coach because I like the way he handles business. I think he's got a very good command of what's going on. I think it's going to take time for him to get his players and get his systems implemented. I think that's just the problem. And it sucks waiting. Like prime time, dude, we hate losing. We hate it.
But isn't some of this also because Joe Douglas in his first 2 years, however much you want to blame Adam Gase, but isn't part of the reason that we're in this full rebuild right now is because Joe Douglas didn't find a little bit more in his first year and a half year? I mean, he had so much money and draft picks that first full offseason that he had. And
but that's going to be allocated to Gase, and Gase had too much power. Gase had too much say, and he was. That's what's going to happen, man. I guarantee you.
Did anybody realize that Joe Douglas was a rookie GM as well? He never had any experience being a GM. So maybe it takes him about 2 years to get his shit together. You understand what I'm saying? So it's all about growth. Listen, the one thing I can say as a Jet fan right now, I'm truly happy with actually having some kind of form of acting like a real organization. You know what I'm saying? Without making the simple mental mistakes as an organization. Having an owner making bad decisions. Listen, we had a head coach that is a high school football coach right now. Like, come on.
Well, I mean,
bro.
this
you
remains.
Can't make this up, bro.
I'll give the owner credit for backing out and letting say, listen, football guys make football decisions. You guys do that. I'll sit back and just cut the checks. I have no problem with that. I mean, they spent money on the sports science team and the strength and conditioning team, and they hired an outside the box guy in Sal. That was, it wasn't a Joe Douglas guy. I give him credit for all that. But now it's just a matter of just getting the draft picks, drafting guys, getting them to play well, and then you complement them with the free agency, not vice versa, what the Jets are trying to do. And unfortunately, the free agent class has been decimated by injuries. And, that's another problem. So it's just, this team, I think this team would be a lot different as Carl Lawson was playing. It'd be, a lot of things would be different.
We'd be a lot happier, and even with Becton, man, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you right now, what I've seen from Becton so far, I'm a little concerned, a lot of concern. So, and that could end up being something that we got to, face later on. At the end of the day, I mean, you don't cry over Spielman, you just clean it up and keep it moving. That's just what I'm looking to do. I want to see improvement from this team, man. Like I said, man, I'm not there. You guys know me, bro. I drink the Kool-Aid every season, bro. This is probably the only time, man. It's the only time the Kool-Aid just don't taste right no more. You feel me? So it's what it is, man. Like, listen, and I'm not gonna say rebuild because I'm tired of that word. You know what I'm saying? We restructuring everything on this team from the top to the bottom. You know what I'm saying? And
trying to find building blocks, man.
Exactly.
That's the key.
And and that's what it is. I think that if you have a young quarterback that we can see growth in prime time, you said it yourself. At the end of the season, all you want to do is see growth. That's all you want to see. So week 2, if everyone is listening, listen, man, it's week 2. Yo,
hopefully week 2 was as low as we're gonna go this year, and it's only up from here. It's only progress from here.
Listen, rookie quarterback before this it might get a little lower, bro. We got some
hopefully it's not worse than that.
If he
knows, we got a major problem.
I'll give you my hot take right now. I will give you this hot take. If he goes through the same motions this week, where the kid is clearly struggling and just can't get his fucking act together, take him out of the game.
Yep.
Seriously. And you can't have too much pride, too much arrogance. But like, you know what? The kid's got to fight through it and learn. Fuck that. That's how you ruin quarterbacks.
Problem is they didn't plan for that. They didn't bring in a true veteran backup. They don't have anybody other than Mike White.
I was begging for that since what?
I know you are, but that's part of why, though.
That's what everybody told me.
Move now because
everybody told me veteran quarterbacks aren't important, man. You're overrating them.
Crazy.
Prime time. James Morgan in the chat.
Hey, prime time. Listen. And we had a viable backup. They would have pulled his ass, correct?
Last week?
They should have.
Probably, instead of punting the game with 10 minutes left, you let a backup go get it if you don't have confidence in Wilson to sling it. Absolutely.
Exactly.
You know what? But Tyron, what my biggest fear is, and I'll be completely honest with you guys. My biggest fear is the Jets, and this is to make you guys happy. My negative Jets mind. My honest belief is the Jets were worried about the backlash. They took Zach Wilson out of the game. Oh my God, their second pick in the draft. They took him out. He's not playing well. Jets lost faith in Wilson. All this shit. And you can't worry about that kind of stuff, man. If the kid is struggling, you take him out.
You even said last week, how many times did Tua get benched last year where he pulled for fits?
Patrick came in. Listen, it's about staying competitive. It's about because you know what's going to happen is if the kid's not playing well, the guys on defense like Mosley and Mayer are like, dude, why the fuck's this kid still in there? He's struggling. Take him out because you want to keep that competitive nature on the field. So if you get to the point where and then it's like if the only reason why you're keeping Mike White on the thing is because you're your placeholder, whatever the hell he does. I mean, is that the reason why he's the backup quarterback? No, because it's not. It used to be the punter, right?
Yeah, it was
punter.
man
It was a
until
punter. It was
he got
a
hurt.
punter. Yeah, it was a punter.
So it's
Yeah,
Mike
it was
White
a
now,
punter.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mike White.
yeah,
Yes,
we
now
were
it is,
watching
yeah.
him warm up right in front
Yeah.
of us in
Yep, you're right in
Carolina.
front of us.
After the man got hurt.
So if you're scared, it's either two things. There's twofold. If you're scared to pull him due to backlash, that's ridiculous. If you're scared to pull him because Mike White can't play, that's even worse.
Yep.
So if the kid struggles to the point where he's throwing 3 interceptions and looks dazed and confused, and the Mile High Stadium is driving him out of his mind, take him out, man.
Yep.
Live for another day, play for another day, save your quarterback. And I hope the Jets do that, man.
He's your future. I mean, at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with sitting him down. Look, watch a little bit.
See, happy prime time. I brought my negative Jet hat out for you.
About time.
Let's see
No,
what we got here.
one of us has to be the calm one. So.
It sucks waiting, agree, but we haven't want to win a game in 2 years. Yeah, I mean, listen, we all want to win, John. I get. Listen, we all want to win. We want our first win. We want Zach to play well, and it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. It just sucks where we're at right now. And this like, so I mean, prime time. I guess we can do is we can start going like score predictions and stuff. But how would you not pull him, dude? What?
How many interceptions do you got to throw for you not put? Listen, 4 interceptions. Listen, listen.
What point do you worry about like, ruining his confidence?
I mean, no. Listen,
at some point, nothing positive comes out of it.
At the end of the day, man, listen. If you don't pull a guy like, you know what I'm saying, he throws 4 interceptions. Listen, there's nothing wrong with a guy going to sit down, being able to watch the game, letting things slow down for him. You know what I'm saying? He's a rookie quarterback. You know what I mean? And this is the problem, man. Everybody thinks that, you know what I'm saying, he has to be Aaron. Exactly, Josh Johnson. That should be listen.
That should be the answer.
That should be the guy that's number 2. And if he's not playing well, sit him down and then watch a professional. That's why you have a viable backup in so he can learn from it. That's crazy to me. It makes no sense.
Yeah. So I mean, if you guys want, we can start going into score prediction and stuff like that.
All right.
It's just Manning had a lot of quarterbacks had rough games, but I mean, I think you guys, I mean, they should have traded for Foles in the offseason. He should have been on a team 2 months ago. I mean, that's
absolutely. Not now.
And I was. I mean, you guys know I've been consistent with that for how long? Yep. This isn't second guessing.
Yeah, it was great.
I guess we'll go prime time first. Your thought? This got to be a heated little preview show.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened?
Well, I knew at some point tonight it was probably going to heat up with all the same stuff that's been going around.
Wait till week 5, man. This is the iceberg. We PG-13 now. Week 5, it's going to be ugly on here, bro. You know how we do.
I can relate to Balls, yeah. That was the last time I think we were all happy as Jet fans.
Yep.
Hey, Balls had the dopest. Balls had the dopest poster ever, bro. I like that poster, Balls. Real cool, man.
That's what motivated Sam.
Yeah.
So let's see. Get your score predictions out in the chat if you guys like. Jack with 27-17. Oh, two pick sixes for. I couldn't even imagine. Jesus Christ, I couldn't even imagine the bingo board with a whole new bingo board for that. All right, prime time. Your score prediction.
Right. I'm gonna go ahead and say that the defense plays a solid game. Bend but don't break. They keep the Broncos for the most part out of the end zone. They force them to field goals. I think that we're going to get the ground game working a little bit. We're going to get the tight ends involved. We're going to find our deep shots. I think Wilson's going to play a much smarter game. I'm actually going to go Jets 24, Broncos 19.
Woo! Wait! Say it ain't so, big dog.
I'm feeling better about this game than I did each of the last 2 weeks. So I don't know what it means. They could go out there and lay an egg, but I just think everybody's going to be fired up coming off last week, all the shit that they were hearing throughout the week. I think you're going to see a team that's motivated. Salah's going to have these guys ready to go. Whether or not it translates in a win or not, I don't know, but I got a good feeling. Better than the last 2 weeks.
Tyrone?
Yo, I'm gonna shock the world with this one. Because primetime started to steal my thunder over there. Yeah, I'm going. Yeah,
you always pick wins.
You guys are smoking the same shit. That's all I know.
I'm going 21-17 with Jets with the victory. Zach Wilson 3 touchdowns, baby. Let's go, baby.
Zach Wilson 3 touchdowns?
Yes, sir. 3 of them things.
Is he going to run them like Sam Darnold? Or is he actually going to throw them?
No, he's going to throw them. He threw 4 picks. He's throwing 3 touchdowns this week, baby. Let's go.
All right. So you guys are both clearly drinking the Kool-Aid and didn't share none with me because I'm the angry asshole tonight, I guess. So I'm completely opposite of both you guys. I think the Jets are going to lose. I think it's going to be probably by 10 points or so. I think it's going to be 24-14, somewhere in that range. I think it's just this. I think it's a tough spot just to where they're going, playing it there. I wish the game was here. It'd be more interesting. But I think the environment, the stadium, the energy, Von Miller, all those guys. And I think you guys are maybe Tyrone is underrating the Broncos offense a little bit. But I mean, I think they're going to play well. I honestly think Zach Wilson going to play a lot better than we did last week, which probably don't mean much.
I just think we're catching him at the right time. No Judy, no Chubb, Roby's out. I think also
could be a trap game looking passes because we suck. But I don't see it. I think they lose by 10. And I'd love to. And listen, boo me all you want, man. People be coming at me all day. I'm used
Boo
to it.
this, man.
I make one video, I'm hacked everywhere. I'm getting direct messages. I don't give a shit, man. I think they're gonna lose. So we'll see what happens.
Now you know my experience during the offseason.
Yeah, I don't care. No, because now I'm getting all the little Sam Darnold supporters are blowing up my thing. Like, I told you Zach Wilson's a bust. You really haven't told me shit, dude.
Me too,
But
baby.
whatever.
Me too.
So thank you guys for joining us. Prime time. We gonna stream this game?
I think so, right? I think people are expecting a bingo board and a whole lot more.
We're gonna do a bingo board too?
I'm gonna try tomorrow. Got a busy few days ahead of me, but yeah, I'm gonna try to get that shit up.
So
tomorrow.
yeah, if last year's team can go on the road and beat the Rams, anything is possible. Yeah, any given Sunday.
That is
That's
fair.
true.
That is fair.
So how long do we block Sam in the chat? How long can I? How much longer?
We're not allowed to block Sam.
We're not.
You can't. No. Sam's
I
untouchable.
can do it right now.
No,
It's just one click on a button.
No,
You can be gone.
Sam is in the same category as Rose and a few others where it's like they can talk shit,
Shotgun
but we
bet on
can't
what?
block 'em.
What are we betting? What? Jose, I'll bet you a shotgun. You taking the Jets? I'll bet you a shotgun. No problem.
I'm not willing to put a shotgun on it. That's for sure.
Yeah, bet you not.
I'll put a shotgun on them covering the spread. I feel good about that, but money line, I don't know about.
Joe Mo.
I'll bet anybody a shotgun on this. I'll take the Jets. And do I get the points too?
Hell no.
So thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate it, and then we'll see you guys Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday. Talk to you guys later.
Have a good night.
Sir, you have a good night, bro.